Okay, you're balancing on a shoebox, so I really hope nothing falls and it doesn't break. Okay, yeah, ignore that as well. They're shoes, but anyway. Hello everyone. I know it's been, actually I don't even know how long it's been since I last posted. It was about my tattoo. Sorry, my tattoo. So yeah, so I'm here to talk about, okay, so in my notes I've been writing things that I wanted to like talk about on my channel, and one of the things was like depression in general, which is like kind of hard to talk about because I don't want to say anything wrong or give anyone the wrong idea about depression, but it's like been a huge part of my life ever since I can remember, so I guess that's where I should start. Even though this might be like a hella long video because there's so much to say, and like I might bring it up later in other videos because it is so interconnected into like a lot of parts of my life that, you know, it'll probably come up in other scenarios. Hi Muffin. This is Muffin. She hates being picked up. She's still really scared. If any of you know Allie Hudson, she gave me her. Well, she found her in a hole. She said, hey, do you want a kitten? And I was like, yes. So I drove and got her when she was really little. Come here. She thinks I'm about to pick her up, so she's being weird. Oh, it's really washed up. I like to sit here because it's in front of the window. I have a balcony which I could sit on, but it's really loud because I live right by. I live in an apartment that's, oh, there she is. Hi, pretty girl. Wanna say hi? You get so scared. Look, say hi. Oh, that's right by a street. Sorry, I didn't even finish my sentence. Okay. So, I think I'll start with, why is it so washed out? This is what happens when I wear white. Oh, don't knock it over. Let it be. Don't touch it, Muffin. I'm not joking. Okay, so we'll start with, okay, let me just start with a trigger warning. If you have any sort of, if talking about this kind of stuff is triggering to you, I'm taking it, oh my gosh, that was literally me just spacing out for a second. Okay, I'm going to be talking about things that are hard to probably hear, especially if you are my family members or my friends, but I think the more we talk about them, the more normalized they'll become, and then it won't be so taboo, you know? I mean, I'm not promoting any of the things that I've done in the past, but Muffin's right here. Oh, okay. But I do think talking about them makes people feel less alone. So I'm gonna talk about them because they happen. Whether or not we talk about them, kids are going through stuff like this, so we might as well talk about it. When I was younger, I can't even give you an exact age. I just like have an overwhelming sense of like outsiderness, and it's not even like, can you not? It's not even like I want to be different, because I do think being different is cool. Like, not cool, but you know what I mean? Like everyone is different, so there's not really a point in like trying to act like you're not. But I do have an overwhelming sense of feeling like there's no place for me in the world. Like, there's no like, there's no like purpose. I mean, you know what I mean? Well, I guess you don't, but if you have depression, you probably know what I mean. That like ever since I was younger, I've just been like, what am I doing? What is the purpose of me being here? Like, everyone else seems to fulfill some sort of, is there another word for purpose? If not, take a shot every time I say it. Like, I just felt like everyone else fit together somehow, and I didn't. So, I don't know what age, around middle school or maybe younger, I began self-harming. And it was just like, it was for, ew, I just said for instead of for. It was a way to feel something, and also to release like, okay, I know specifically what depression feels like inside my body. Like, I get a feeling inside my body when my depression gets really bad, and it feels like someone is sitting on my chest, and it's not in the like anxiety kind of way, like sitting on my my lungs, like I can't breathe or my chest is heavy. It feels like my actual heart, because okay, well, I don't know if this is for everyone, but for me, when I feel love towards someone, like, or a friend, or I see something happen that's like cute or sweet, it feels like it comes from here. Oh my god, my cats are insane. It feels like it comes from the actual organ, which I know is not true because I took anatomy and that's not what your heart does, but this is where it comes from for me. So that's what it feels like. A weight is on my heart, not on like my chest. Does that make any sense? No, but that's what it feels like to me. And so even if it doesn't make sense, that's what it feels like. So what was I even talking about? Oh yeah, self-harm. Okay, I'm absolutely not condoning self-harm. If you have issues with self-harm, I will leave a link to like hotlines you can talk to. You can certainly talk to me. I won't tell anyone. Like, first of all, who would I have to tell? Second of all, I would absolutely never tell anyone about that, because I've had issues with people, me confiding in people and them thinking it was okay to spread it around. So I'm definitely one you can talk to. Please talk to someone about it, a trusted adult. And if for you that is not your parents, that is okay. It's okay not to be in good terms with your family. It's okay to not tell your family, your toxic family member, things that will only hurt you. I'm saying they have free counseling at colleges if you go to college. Honestly, I'm sure you could still walk in there and just say, I really need to talk to someone. They have hotlines that you can talk to someone, you can talk to me. Anyway, the point is I'm not condoning it, because it is not a healthy way of dealing with what you're feeling, but I'm not gonna act like I didn't do it. And I'm not gonna act like it wasn't a part of my journey. So, I was hiding it. Like, pretty much no one knew. But yeah, it was a way to release the weight that was on my heart, and also to feel something like physical, because like an issue with me is that I live most of my life in my head, and that sounds so bad, but a lot of things that I think are happening are really only happening in my head, which is why it's hard for me to trust my own brain. And all this I have told my therapist, so don't worry that I haven't dealt with any of this yet, because I have, or I'm working on dealing with it. But see, this is the issue, is that I don't remember what I was talking about. I have dementia. Anyway, let me think. Frick. What the hell was I even talking about? Can someone tell me? Tell me what I was talking about. I wish it was interactive so someone could remind me what the fuck I was talking about. Anyway, so yes, depression. I'm gonna get back on track, whatever I was talking about with self-harm. But I was doing it it was not good. Then at some point my mom found out and I had to go see a therapist. I was diagnosed with depression. I tried to take medicine for like, I'm not even joking you, I took medicine for like 1 day and I was like, I don't like the way it makes me feel, so I stopped. And then I think that was pretty much it until, yeah, I didn't go to therapy or anything. Yeah, no, I didn't go to therapy or anything. And so I like played volleyball, I went to school, yada yada yada. So that was in like early middle school, maybe even out like late elementary school. Wait, how old are you in elementary school? Like 11 or 12? Yeah, elementary school ish. I don't know, truly don't know. I've also had anxiety. I'm pretty sure I've had anxiety since I was born, which is a whole nother topic. And I know that there are lots of people that deal with that, maybe even more than deal with depression, because it's Harley. It's a large part of, stress is a large part of our lives. Okay, this video is gonna be so long. Okay, let me move along. So yes, blah, 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 I didn't have therapy, blah blah blah, till, but I think that I always knew I had depression. I mean, obviously I was diagnosed, but nothing really happened because I did a great job of pretending that I was okay, and not even pretending to myself, because I knew I wasn't okay, but I did a great job of, trying to convince my parents I was okay and convince everyone else. Until senior year, I was hospitalized. I don't know if a lot of people know that. I don't think so. Another reason I'm telling you is not for pity, not to get people talking about it, like about me is what I mean to say. It's just, I just think that there's, like, once it happened to me and a couple people knew, they knew people that it happened to as well. So I think there's a lot more people than you think have needed to be hospitalized. I mean, I was Baker acted, but I even talked about it in my ethics class last year. We were talking about how people are Baker acted, and they were all like, oh I knew classmates, and I was like, I raised my hand and I was like, I have been Baker acted, and it was not a good experience. So I'm not gonna say where I was Baker acted, but people who know me know where I went to. Anyway, I went to a hospital. After that, I had to seek, obviously, help. Within the hospital, there were a lot of people that would ask me, like, you know, you have to do a million things when you're there. They have to like give you medicine, they take your vitals like every couple hours. We have to take naps, we had to take, that can be a whole nother video about my hospitalization. But sorry, that was just I just sometimes I make jokes about things that I really shouldn't be making jokes about. So anyway, yeah, that was really hard. That was a hard time in my life. So senior year, that happened. I came back to school. I had to see therapy because the place I went was UF, like under UF supervision, so it was like a UF facility, like Shan's facility. So I went to see, they suggested a doctor to me, which obviously I'm not going to say his name, but I've been seeing him for 2 and a couple months. Wait, when was I went to the hospital in October of 2017, right? Because 2018 I graduated. Yeah, October 2017. So October of this year, October 2020, it'll be 3 years. I've been seeing this therapist, and he is amazing. My favorite doctor I've had yet. So therapy's a whole nother video as well. My whole thing is I want to tell you my history with depression and how debilitating it can be, because I feel like there's a side of social media where depression is okay, but it's just a word. It's just like, oh, I have depression. And then there's another side where people who have depression know that the word depression carries a lot of weight, and that there's more to depression than being sad. And when mixed with a full life, it is pretty excruciating, which is why people seek help for it. I'm telling you right now, let me take off my glasses so I can look you in the eye. I'm telling you right now, if you need help, and most of the times you do know if you need help, you are just too scared to do it, please talk to someone. You can talk to me. I could probably refer you to someone like an actual psychiatrist or psychologist, I don't know the difference, who can help you. Or they have like I don't know, sometime I reposted something that was like, it was a text message where you can text someone, because a lot of people have social anxiety and talking on the phone gives them anxiety, and also that is just like kind of a big step. I hate answering the phone, but there is a text thing I'm gonna try and find. It's like you can text, it's like a hotline, but you can text them about how you're feeling and they'll text you back. It's like a real person. Anyway, I am not anyway advocating for you to keep all your feelings in, but I'm just saying that's what I did. Not a good idea. You end up hurting yourself more than just going to talk to someone about it. So what I was saying, there's a group, this group that I was talking about, that depression is okay but it's just a word, is kind of like a club, like, oh, I have depression club, and it's like we can make jokes about our depression and yada yada yada. And listen, everybody copes differently with how they feel. As long as you're taking care of yourself at home, like your real self, not the self you put on social media. If you're not telling people that you're taking care of yourself, like, okay, what I meant to say with that last little clip was like, you don't have to tell people that you're taking care of yourself. I just want you to take care of yourself. So like, you can make jokes about your depression on social media, and like, that's fine as long as you're actually taking care of yourself in real life. But I'm saying, like, there is a group that's like, haha, depression, it sucks. But it's like, there's another group that's like, really knows how hard carrying depression with you is. And I do think it's something that's like, I mean, you can't have depressive episodes. There are people that aren't diagnosed with like not full, because any depression is full on, I'm sure. Well, what I have is major depressive disorder, right? That's it? Major depressive disorder, is that what it's called? Generalized anxiety, major depressive. Yeah, I think that's it. And there are people that have, you know, manic depressive. There are a whole bunch of different things. I'm not a doctor. I'm just here to tell you what happens with me. And I think that the thing, oh, they're both down there. Can you even see them? Oh, you can. Okay, here's Harley and here's Muffin. She's right here. She's sitting by my shoes. Damn, that's weird. I don't know why they're sitting there. They never sit there. They just wanted to be in the video, I guess. Anyway, so, Jesus Christ, I think I have ADD. Like, why do I keep forgetting what I was saying? I actually am getting testing done, psychological testing, to figure out if I have dyslexia or any of that stuff, because I'm 90% sure I'm dyslexic, but I'm Bella Thorne, and this is how I figured out I was dyslexic. Anyway, okay, sorry. What was I saying? Fuck. Carrying it, is that what I was talking about? I don't know actually. Okay, what I was trying to say was that, like, oh, I remember. Okay. The thing I always tell people when I get into conversation, why is it so low now? The sun is really shining today. The thing I always tell people when we have conversations about this, and I try to be open enough, like sometimes I don't have the energy to get into all the things I'm feeling, which in those cases I think it's okay to just let yourself rest, because most of the time you feel better the next day, or your brain figures it out for you. Like, I'm very much someone who can figure out her own feelings. Like, I like to know what I'm feeling and why it is I feel that way. So, or I just go to therapy because I go weekly, so I just save it all up and then talk to him there. So if I could not finish one sentence, what was I talking about? Oh, the thing I always tell people. Okay, the thing I always tell people is that depression feels like something you come out with, right? Like, I have depression, just letting you know. And then everyone else that you've told, your whole family, your friends, your boyfriend, girlfriend, significant other, whoever, they all get to forget, but you don't. So that's how it always feels to me. Is like everyone can talk to me however they want. Like, when I first tell people I have depression, they go, "Aw," and they like give me a hug or whatever. And it's like, yeah, thank you. I did need that. I love hugs. But after this conversation, you're just probably gonna forget about it. And not forget, I mean, like, you'll probably think about it every once in a while, but like, you know what I mean? Like, they don't have to feel it every second of every day, with different severity, obviously. But you know what I mean? Like, it's hard. I think the hardest part for me is that, like, I just have to keep going on and living like nothing is happening when when it's actually so hard sometimes, you know? Like, I would say everyone else gets to forget, but I don't. So that's what I say about my hospitalization also, because I think I had a small bit of PTSD from my hospitalization, and I would tell my therapist about it, and he was like, I would always say the hardest part was like getting triggered in public by something and then having to act like I wasn't going through something at the very moment. And not to say that our family or like our support system doesn't think about it at all. It's just different. Like, people who go through it know, and people who have family members that go through it, they know also, but they know something different. So the way that I feel about my depression every single day feels different than the way that, you know, someone else thinks about it, like my brother or my mom feels about my depression. Okay, I think the clip got too long or something, or I didn't have enough storage, so I had to delete some things. Okay, what was I saying? Oh my god, the theme of this video is what was I saying? Is that gonna be the title? So what was I saying? Yeah, so it impacts everyone differently, which is hard, but I think most people who go through it can at least understand what everyone else is saying about it. And I really think that it is mostly helpful to talk to someone okay, I think it's pretty much only helpful to talk to someone who's a licensed therapist or a licensed one of those psychotherapy people, or someone who goes through it or is like diagnosed with depression. And also, I think it's very important that you should be diagnosed early, because there are some people, I talked to a woman one day who wasn't diagnosed until she was in her late 20s. So she was suffering and no one knew, which is even harder. I'm sure that would be hard for anyone, but I can imagine that would be hard for myself because I am one who likes to know what's wrong and why it's happening, you know? So this is my spiel on depression. Please leave questions or comments in the comment section. I'm very willing to talk with people about it. And yeah, that might have been kind of broad, but I don't want to make 3-hour videos, and it's kind of hard to have a conversation when oh, there's a Life South bus going by. Give blood if you can. I also have problems with anemia. A lot of you may know I just got an iron infusion, but my dream is to give blood. I'm such a little saint. Anyway, sorry. This is what I'm talking about. Like, why am I scatterbrained? What was I even talking? Oh, leave comments. Or you can DM them to me if you don't want to like sign into YouTube or whatever. You don't want to comment publicly on my page. You can DM it to me on Instagram or text me if you have my number. Or Snapchat me or whatever, and we can talk about anything. I really am not as scary as I seem, maybe. I've been told by people that I'm intimidating. I really don't think so, because I am literally the dumbest person alive. Like, people are like, oh, I was so scared to come and talk to you, and I'm like, I'm sorry, what? Like, I am not cool in any way, shape, or form. So talk to me about it, or don't. Keep it in your head. But all I have to say is things seem to feel better after you talk about them, if you talk about them with the right people. Sometimes you talk about, okay, we don't need to get into it. We don't need to get into it. This clip is so long. All right, peace out. I hope you like what I said. Be nice to each other and try to make someone's day today. Bye. Say bye, kitties. Oh, now you see my laundry. Fuck.